Welcome to Partho. I forgot I was supposed to unmute.
Oh no.
No,
Wait,
it's
you
okay.
muted. Okay, we're good. Hi guys.
Hi. We had a little bit of issues with the mic. Steven bought a new audio interface. You can't see it, but I've got a boom mic above me, and it did not work. So that was really stressful for him.
You sounded a little high pitched, but it was good. It was good.
Apparently, I sounded like a munchkin. They were telling me.
Just a little bit.
So how do I sound, guys? Is it good, or is it like Molly was when she did her T-Pain voice? And honestly, it was horrendous on my end when you did that the other night on Chimera or on Tree of Trust.
I cried. I was laughing way too hard.
It was rough. Well, welcome everybody. We have an awesome guest tonight. We have Shane Kelly of Small Town Xotics, and we're going to talk about some of his stuff he's got going on. He recently did a Patreon, so we're going to chat with him about that. Molly, how was your week?
So good. I had such a good week. I was not expecting a Partho episode, so having a impromptu Partho is the peak week. And my birthday is on Friday, so it's birthday week.
I didn't know that. I can't believe I didn't know that.
Week, folks.
And Patrick was talking to you like that.
I know. I know. Well, Patrick's always going to be Patrick.
Shout out to know it's your birthday week. So can you tell everybody why we're doing impromptu Partho this evening?
Because my boss decided to leave and go to Vegas. Can you blame him? No, but a little bit. We can blame him a little bit.
Is he doing anything?
Go on a vacation? Is he doing anything cool?
Is he doing anything cool in Vegas, or is he like just hanging out? Is there a show?
I don't get into his business.
Oh, okay. So
they're just going to Vegas. Is there a show?
Okay.
Are you leading me into something that I don't know? I don't know.
No, I don't know. I honestly don't care. I
think he's going to hang out. He's going to network. It's always a business trip. He's going to network.
I got you.
How was your week?
It was good. I started a new job last week, so it's been pretty busy, pretty hectic around here. We had some friends come by. We had Atomic Creations stop by. They gave us some ASFs, which was such a relief. And so we have ASFs already. Oh, there she is. There's Heather right there. So we have ASFs already, but we had a situation. We had a drought. We had a clogged water line, and we lost some of our ASF colonies. And then my worry was that they wouldn't breed. The ones that remained wouldn't breed anymore. And so Atomic kind of saved our butts and dropped off 4 colonies for us. 2 are already pregnant. And right after, literally the day they dropped them off, 2 of our existing ASF colonies dropped babies. So I think it was all them.
Clutch.
Yeah. Chase is lying in the comments.
Yeah, Chase said he's here just for you. Look at that. He's here. He's not avoiding you. He's here for you.
Yeah. But we invited him on the show, and he said no. I know. I just
he is busy this week.
Is he? Well, you know who's not busy? Shane Kelly of Small Town Xotics. He's got absolutely nothing going on, so he's here with us tonight.
Yay!
Shane,
head janitor. Is that your title?
That's my title here at Small Town Xotics, and I'm doing good. Sorry, there's too many voices already.
No. All the ladies talking at once.
I like to interrupt people, so that's probably. So I got these purple headphones because they're cool, but they're maybe not noise canceling, but noise reducing. So I kind of feel like I can barely hear myself and that I'm in my own bubble. But yeah.
But you made me want to get those headphones though. I should get a pink pair.
They're JBL, so they're nice too. Nice little brand. Thanks, Chase. So Steven has done some modifications to the background. In case nobody's noticed, I want to point it out because he's so good at what he does. Last time we got some feedback on our first episode that we were kind of bouncing up and down every time the comments came up. So we've edited our background so that as comments come up, there's more room. It's not pushing us down. It should be a shell of a time. Kick Adam out. Make somebody an admin. Kick him out. We need him out of here.
I think Chase is here for everyone besides me. He doesn't want to be here for me, which is fine. That's okay.
But yeah. So Shane Kelly of Small Town Exotics, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Shane Kelly, the head janitor at Small Town Exotics. And I do a little bit of marketing and selling of snakes when I can, but usually I'm just cleaning.
A little bit. So selling snakes. Oh, I thought when he said the two hotties, I really thought he was going to say and Courtney, to be honest.
And Courtney.
Wow. Chris, that's probably the nicest thing you've ever said to me. So Shane, you do ball pythons and hognoses. Is that right?
Yeah, ball pythons is my main jam, and then hognose is a little side quest. And we did leopard geckos for a little while, but my boys are at the point where that was their project, and now they discovered girls and all that stuff. So
how dare they?
I know. So I'll see them again when they're in their mid-20s, after a few breakups, then they'll be back,
How old are your sons?
After a couple breakups, they're going to be like, we need to get back to the lizards.
Yeah.
We got to get back to the geckos.
Yeah. That's what I've heard from most people in the hobby is that they can't get a girlfriend. So they're doing this. So how old are your sons, Shane?
13 and 15.
Oh, what an age. High school.
I was going to say, that is a very teenage age. That's like right at learning girls.
Molly's almost that age. So.
Almost. 24 this Friday.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Were we live when we said it was your birthday? I can't remember. I'm sorry. I don't see a chat full of everybody wishing Molly a happy birthday.
Well, it's not my birthday today.
We must not have been live. Yeah, but this is the week.
It is birthday week, which I painfully reminded Patrick all week that it is birthday week. So he hasn't been able to escape it. So
I know, guys, all you in the chat, those super chats will really wish Molly a happy birthday.
Nothing would be better than super chats for my birthday.
So Shane, you're on YouTube as well, and everybody in the chat, Shane's on YouTube as well. So go check out his channel. But what are your videos like for those in the chat that don't already follow your videos? What are they like? What's your style of YouTube?
I'm a squirrel, so I just bounce around. So it's a bunch of jump edits, and I just say what I gotta say and show what I gotta show, and then end it. That's my videos.
I think people like that though. Cut all the bullcrap out of it. Just go right into whatever everybody wants.
Well, you could see that on your stats. Because I did some how-to videos and all that stuff, and those always get views forever. But I could see that in my stats. Like when I started doing jump edits and condensing stuff down to 5 and 8 minutes, people watched the whole video versus just the first 3 minutes, So
yeah, for sure.
So one of the things, because we have a toddler, one of the things that you notice about a lot of the videos that are geared towards younger kids is they have a lot of quick jump clip to clip to clip. There's a cut every 3 or 4 seconds, and for better or worse, it holds the toddler's attention. So I think Shane has the Cocomelon video with a lot of.
Well,
he went for the blippy style.
So what you're saying is my audience is all a bunch of toddlers? Is that what I'm hearing out of this?
I mean, in case anybody's wondering, Trish Clemmer, who just wished Molly a happy birthday, is my mom. And she's going to send one chat all night just to let me know that she's in here.
Aw, Tom Creation, thank you.
Yeah. No, so I like your videos, Shane. I had to grab a clip for the promo reel that I did, and it is but you use you use a Canon, right? Like an actual camera.
Yeah, I use a camera and edit on a laptop and all that.
I like how you're like coming in and out of your videos, like
keeping everyone. Yeah, you're keeping everyone's attention.
Yeah, and I used to do a flip type thing, but I can't figure out where it is because I just upgraded to Final Cut Pro, and like I'm like still learning that whole thing.
And what's Final Cut Pro? Is that like, the editing software?
Yeah.
Okay. So we use Premiere Pro, and it's a beast. I'm not a big fan, but Premiere Rush, I think, is another option that people really like. It's a little easier.
I'm an Apple guy, so I just stay with all my Apple stuff because it just works. I don't have to question why. Yeah.
I'm sorry. What does that mean, Courtney? You seem like an Apple guy.
He's from California. I don't think they allow Samsungs in California.
That's true.
Silicon Valley. You a big tech guy?
Me? No. I was once upon a time, but that stuff evolved faster than I could comprehend it, so I just left it alone.
So you were in California and you moved out to Tennessee how long ago?
Oh, it's been 3 years. It was 3 years in March.
3 years. And what big differences do you notice between like, not just like in general, because I know you notice the way people talk. You've pointed out all the things I say wrong. But what kind of like breeding styles do you notice different? Like prices or like styles of shows? Yeah. What's different between the East and the West Coast?
Well, that's kind of a trick question because when I was on the West Coast, well, I didn't really go to too many shows before COVID hit or the pandemic, whatever you call it.
Okay.
Yeah. So like there was the first super show back at Anaheim, and that was January, and then everything like shut down. So, I mean, it was kind of similar though. I went to a couple local shows where I lived, and it's similar to the local show here that I have. The big thing I noticed though was like, nobody breeds mice out here. So like when I first, like mice are the easiest thing to get where I was at in California, and like rats, like people don't want to give them up because they're for their own snakes or whatever. And then when I moved here, I was like, hey, I need to get some mice. And people are like, good luck. And I was like, what do I do? And it just turns out I was asking the wrong question. I should have just asked for ASFs, and then everyone breeds those. So it was just semantics. So they don't do it. I'm like, I just need a rodent to feed my snakes. I don't care what kind of species it is. I just need to go in the snake's mouth.
Are ASFs just not popular, or are they not allowed in California?
They're illegal in California. I think they call them like a desert rodent, the people that do have them. But then like if you request those, then they're trying to charge you like $10 an ASF. So I'm like,
gotcha.
I ain't doing that.
Okay, we've got an awesome question from, who is that?
I don't know who that is. Yeah, I don't know who that is.
A new breeder, I think. Shane, what is your favorite projects you're working on? Any big anticipated clutches?
Well, my favorite project in the whole world is Genetic Stripe Clown. I mean, I've been saying that's the future of ball python since I got in, and then that little company that Chase works with or started posting pictures. Everyone told me I was crazy in the beginning. They're like, oh, anything with genetic striped is just, oh no, that's stupid. You're crazy. And then Justin and Ozzy and people started posting pictures that they were doing that project. And then all of a sudden everyone likes it. I'm like, see, I wasn't crazy. But
I told you guys.
Yeah, I told you guys from the beginning. So anyways, that's my main jam. So everything behind me has something to do with that, and add hypo and DG in there in different angles. But yeah, that's the main thing. I've sold off everything else I have. I have a little bit of Sunset, but I've sold off everything else. So no more Pied, no more Puzzle, no more anything. Really?
I feel like Puzzle's one that everybody's like getting into now. That's surprising.
Yeah, I don't know. Hey man, the more you produce, and like all these females I keep having to hold back, it took over everything for that project. So
all right. So G-Stripe Clown, that's your big one?
Yeah, that's the best looking ball python out there. Hands down, mic drop.
Mic drop. That is a mic drop. Some people will fight you.
So we don't have any G-stripe or clown. I'm just kidding.
You have clown.
I know. I'm just kidding. Oh, yeah. What's a ball python? So when it
python is.
What about in the hognose world?
Hognose world, I'm working like the reds. So I have like hognose are mainly recessive, but they also work line bred traits, polygenics. So I like all the reds, and most of those people like the lemon ghost stuff because it's like yellow and that's different for them. But I'm like, dude, I see yellow all the time in ball pythons. I like all this red stuff, so the reds, extreme red, purple line, like that kind of stuff. But then I got some like snow, and I got a bunch of different stuff. I got a bunch.
Chimera's making sales in the chat.
I know. Yeah, Xotics. I think I sent a message, but I think my chat also might be broken. But yeah, send us a message on Insta or Morph Market. Either's fine.
Chimera Reptiles on Instagram.
Send us a message.
So for breeding the hognoses, those are ones that you brumate and everything. Is that right?
Yeah, and it works out really good. So like right now is the height of my breeding season for hognose, which just happens to coincide with my slowest point in the ball python. So it just carries me throughout the year. I'm always doing something in here.
Can you explain? So like I don't know a whole lot about brumation. Can you explain how you do it a little bit?
Yeah, the cliff notes are you stop feeding them 2 to 3 weeks before you're going to put them down. Let them clear everything out because you don't want like food rotting in them. And then the way I've always done it is I have a closet that's not like connected to the HVAC, and it gets down to like 50 degrees in there. And I just put them in there and just forget about them for 2 months. Actually, it's 10 weeks, but that's it. It's like you're on a mini vacation because you don't have to feed them. You don't have to clean them. Nothing.
Just leave them.
Yeah.
It scares me. Have you seen the like things online where people are like, I just found out today that hamsters hibernate. Oh my God, what did I do when I buried like have you seen that?
I had this fear. I had a hamster, and so but I knew this, so that was the good thing. So it got really old, so it was time. But she passed, and I swear though, I like put her on like a little heating pad, and I like just tried to like warm her up gently just to make sure. And I was so scared that she was just hibernating at first. I was terrified. So I'm sitting there like watching her like a hawk, and then I'm like, okay, no, we gotta move on. Atomic Beach, thanks for the super chat, and
yes,
I'm excited
and thank you.
Those things too.
Apparently, that got shut down. So pretty quickly. So Heather can't wait to get some hognoses, but Dave says no.
I think hognoses are super cute. I wouldn't ever have one, but I think they're cute. That helps. I don't know if that helps anything, but
they're really cool because for me being a ball python guy, they're like the exact opposite. Like they're all spunky, they got personalities, and everyone's like different. They like I said, like they got their own personality. I mean, like each snake has like its own little thing. Some want to come out and like hang out, others are like bluff striking, and they're just crazy. They're
then
fun.
Ball pythons are like, I'm a rock. Here we go.
Yeah.
So it's literally having a pet rock, a pretty pet rock, but pet rock.
Yeah, it's an expensive rock,
Very expensive rock. So Molly, what was the breaking point for the hamster? What made you pull the trigger and I don't know, get her, or was it a smell?
Do you say that I killed her?
I'm asking how did you decide she wasn't hibernating?
Oh, no, I warmed her up. So like, I was like feeling her body temperature, and like, I was like, she was warm. And then I was like, I waited a long time, like a while, and like, she was all warm and everything, and she was still like not moving. So I was like, okay, I waited a while. I was in denial for a minute.
So now that we're going to talk about
she was also really old, so it was kind of like, okay. If she was really young, I would have waited a lot longer, but
I had a Moose says check your racks. We hear that beeping, Shane. I had a fish, like a betta fish in middle school, and like it passed away, and my parents kind of teased me or not teased me, but they were like, oh, you can't take care of it. So I got another one, and I wanted to take such good care of it. And I was in middle school, and I killed it pretty quickly, actually, much quicker that time. But I didn't want my parents.
Courtney likes animal cruelty. Everyone.
I think I was just too excited. I think I was like cleaning it too much. I think it like went into shock because I was like doing too much. And my parents, I didn't want them to make fun of me again. So I was like, oh, what if I just like leave the fish in there and they just think it's like floating in there and they just think it's in there. Young and stupid and didn't understand decay. And I literally like that morning was like, oh, I'll just leave it in there. That day I got home from school and it was like gross. So,
Courtney, that's terrible.
Yeah. So I was just wondering if your hamster started stinking. Atomic.
Well, I got a question for you though, Courtney. Did you put it on a heating pad and see if you could warm it up or anything?
I waited until it was thundering and lightning, thunder and lightning.
Yeah,
and I tried to Frankenstein it, but again, it was pretty gross.
Frankenstein it. Franken-beta. That's good.
I'm pretty sure Heather from Atomic Creations is going to buy a hognose from you. So there's a lead, but you got to tell her what your favorite hognoses are. I know you said red. What are you doing?
I don't know.
He's on Mac. If he does the thumbs up, it does the thumbs up. If you do a peace sign, it'll do stuff. It normally does. I think it's really sensitive though.
See, Macs are better.
They give you all the fun stuff.
Yeah.
Shane, when did let's talk about your Patreon a little bit.
But wait.
Oh, wait.
So my favorite hognose, I'm really into like sunburst, snows, stuff like that. All stuff related, and I like storm clouds, so that's all the kind of the projects.
Storm clouds are really cool.
So that's that question. All right, go Molly.
Yeah, let's talk about your Patreon a little bit. When did you launch it?
I launched it last Thursday. So
like how's that been going? Has it been received well?
Yeah, so far I haven't had anyone trash talk me to my face or in my DM, so that part's good.
Well, then there you go.
In your DMs, just in our DMs.
Yeah, I mean, they're probably talking trash about it somewhere else, but not to me. So far, so good. I got some good members, and yeah, I mean, I like it. I'm learning the whole platform from the creator side of it too, so.
That's awesome.
Just Adam again. Can somebody please kick Adam out of here because I see 47 and I think he's just a jerk. So we are in a Patreon as well. We started a Patreon recently where we talked about on our most recent Patreon podcast that we put out every Tuesday. We talked about Partho, and in it, Steven just spent the entire episode roasting me. And I don't know what you guys like. I don't know how well you guys know me. I dish it. Okay. I can't take it.
You don't take it.
I don't take it. So Steven's just roasting me the whole time, and he brought up the announcement that we did when we announced Partho, and I was such a bitch because I was like, by the way, we had 5 times the followers that you guys had, and everybody have a great night. Bye-bye. And he thought that was the funniest thing.
It was so good.
And so he brought it up in the Patreon podcast again, which our good friend Adam at Benevolent Reptiles, thank you so much, is a member of. And so he recently let me relive that nice, embarrassing moment. Hey, Paul.
So nice.
We got a question really quick because we're going to jump right back to Patreon. But question for Leviathan. They were asking about Sunset Project Xotics. Is that a joke? Have you seen Steven's obsession with Sunset? The man cannot let it go for 1 minute.
To be fair, it's good. It's good.
we did hear back about Falcon Fire, Shane, and for everybody listening who watched our collaboration video. I'm looking at Steven to see if he gives me like a head shake that I'm not allowed to say it. So we did hear back on whether Falcon Fire has yellow belly specifically. So Falcon Fire, is that the right name?
Yeah. You can call him whatever you want.
You can call him whatever the hell you want. So Shane did a collaborative breeding project with us recently where we paired his girl to our boy. It was a red stripe, yellow belly, het sunset on our part, and a pastel extreme gene sunset.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
And we hit one boy that we are thinking is the all gene animal. It's very obviously sunset. We can't test for extreme gene. It's pretty obviously pastel, so we tested for red stripe and yellow belly, and we got the test results for yellow belly back today. Do you want to take a guess?
It is. It is
yellow belly. Het for yellow belly. So, yeah. So,
all right.
Again,
one more, and I was right.
Yeah, we can't test for extreme gene, but we will find out hopefully pretty soon whether we thanks, balls to you. We'll find out pretty soon whether he has red stripe or not. So that's really exciting. So just really quick, back on the Patreon. So when we were doing that collaborative breeding project, Shane came down to us to pick up his girl and to split the clutch, and you were still talking about starting the Patreon at that point. And still like in consideration. So like, what things were you considering before you created the Patreon? Like what did you like think of? Like, what did you take into consideration before deciding, yes, I'm going to do it?
Courtney, you guys were the muse. That's what it was.
I am for most people. Thank you. You should see how many paintings I'm in.
For me, the biggest consideration was the commitment on my side before starting a Patreon. I didn't want to be just somebody that starts a Patreon and then just leaves it there and not like don't participate in it. So
yeah,
like that was what I was wrestling with. Like, am I ready for this commitment? Like almost like a marriage, you know, like, am I ready for this commitment? Am I ready to say yes to this, you know? And that was my biggest thing. And then after that, I was just thinking of all the things I could help out and provide.
Nice. So what did you have ready before you launched it?
Oh, I had the artwork for all the thing done. So it's like the same cartoon guy that does my YouTube intro did the artwork for the Patreon. And then I started recording some audio files for the little podcast that's attached to it. Reached out to my wonderful partners / sponsors for some perks, you know, and Redline, Husbandry Pro.
Hey, this isn't your channel. You can't plug
No,
in.
I gotta give him a shout out.
You said Redline, Husbandry Pro,
Ral, and Gray Rider Reptiles.
Yeah, Gray Rider Reptiles. That's awesome. By the way, RGI confirmed that Falcon Fire was het for yellow belly, and Troy was making fun of me for saying het for yellow belly. But when you test your snakes, it's either heterozygous or homozygous if it's a super. So het for yellow belly just means they are not a super, and they do have yellow belly. So Troy, watch it. I know my stuff.
Troy.
Steven says it all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, if I comment, I comment as both myself and Patrick, and I've never felt more drunk with power. Steven's yelling at me that he's going to make it so that I only comment as Patrick is the best. So, Molly, can you tell everyone really quick how sick your roast on Patrick was right before this call?
So for all my fans of the roasting that I do on Patrick, his flight got canceled. So he was like, oh, I can watch Partho tonight now because he wasn't going to be able to. He's going to be on his flight. And then he said that, how do you say it? He said, I just hope Courtney doesn't have to carry the show again. And I told Patrick, I hope that his next plane is he flies on a Boeing. I hope it malfunctions, Patrick.
He's gonna be holding that door in place.
That's why he can't watch Partho. He's got to hold the door.
He's got to hold the door in place.
So the Boeing doesn't just fall apart.
He let Steven book his flight, so he's on Spirit, and they don't have Wi-Fi on planes yet.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. He gets bumped over to Spirit, Spirit is not worth the money savings. Let me tell you, I've done it before, and it wasn't worth it.
Yeah, no, Steven okay, really quick. I do have to say, Steven booked us on Frontier this past trip to Denver. Except, it's so much better than Spirit. I don't know. I thought they were the exact same thing. Frontier, not great. Better than Spirit.
Better than Spirit. That should be their that should be their tagline.
That should be their tagline.
Chase, I did say this after Chase's flight earlier today was canceled because a Boeing malfunctioned. So he was supposed to get on a flight with and it was a Boeing. And
are they going to the same place, or are Chase and Patrick traveling together?
So Chase actually is coming to Indiana. He had some doctor's appointments, and then hang out with me.
Of course. For your birthday.
And then, he's not going to Vegas, as Patrick says.
No. So we traveled recently, and I know this is because I do want to talk more about the Patreon, but I do feel like it's a good segue. We recently went to Denver for Nick Sloan and Troy Schroeder's AARP show. It was really nice. It was a really cool show. We are super happy with the turnout. Yeah. I think I heard there was 5,800 people through the door. Wow. That was pretty cool. It was in the middle of a blizzard, so I feel like that was pretty good through the door.
Yeah, that's amazing.
They had a face painter, which was really cool for if you had kids, and
you.
And I got my face painted. Funny thing about getting my face painted is we went out to dinner afterwards, and I left my face paint on because I got it I got it at the end of the day, and I was like, I just got $10 face paint. I'm leaving it on. And I knew that I left it on, and I intentionally left it on. And then I completely forgot that I left it on. So we went to a pretty nice place for dinner, and I ordered food, and we were all sitting there. And Jessica from Hold Back Rack, I asked her a question, and she goes, I love your face. And I was like, aw. And she's like, what? And I was like, that's really sweet. And she goes, and she looks at me, and I remember that my face was completely painted, and it's pretty embarrassing. And then I immediately forgot again that my face was painted. And we went through half the dinner, and Trevor from Ball Labs at the end of dinner, or maybe it was David from St. One of them at the end of dinner was like, man, you really stuck with that face paint, huh? And I was like, oh, forgot again. I didn't even rock it.
Oh my god. Well, speaking of shows, Shane, what shows do you do?
I mainly do the 2 Tinleys since I moved out here, and then I'm actually doing the AARPE in Charlotte.
Oh, nice. you signed up for that show as well?
Yes, ma'am.
Awesome. As soon as we heard, we signed up because that's 2 hours from us, so we're excited.
Yeah, and I think it's 3.5 from me. So I mean,
it's because you're it's north for us, but it's probably just east for you, right?
It's
David
a little bit.
David showed up in a t-shirt, and he's like, wasn't snowing that bad. It's the first time I've seen snow in 6 years, so so it's pretty bad for me.
So I got a funny story.
I didn't know you inspected planes. Oh man, guys, Gina's in the chat, and we're making fun of planes. And
Courtney, Shane, what's your funny story? Go ahead. We gotta keep Courtney on the rails, folks. Hold on.
It's a similar story to what she was talking about, the weather out there. So 11 years ago, according to Facebook, on the very same day they were at that show and it was snow, I was in Denver and it snowed like that. And it was crazy because 2 days later, the sun came out and it all melted in a day. There's rivers flowing down the parking lots, giant icicles falling from the buildings. And I was like, this place is crazy, man.
I think that was the biggest complaint, was parking for the snow, because, nobody knows how to park in the snow because the lines are covered. But when the snow started melting, it made legit rivers in the parking lot. So we would pull into the parking lot and the car would start bouncing around, and my daughter would be like, "Whoa, Mama, you driving crazy!" So that was pretty cute. You asked her, how was the show for you? Oh, that's right. That's what I asked Jessica. I asked her how the show was, and she goes, "I love your face." I was like, oh, "Thanks, Jessica."
What was that stuff that Steven put up about that's too talk for the olds or something? What kind of
Ashley
mumbo
said
jumbo
I
is that?
Jojo Siwa.
You didn't listen to the podcast this week? That's interesting.
I did, but I didn't understand what you guys were talking about. Like, oh, that's too talk for the olds.
Okay, you guys keep acting like Jojo Siwa is a TikTok star. Jojo Siwa is a
I've never even heard that name.
Person. You have sons, not daughters.
Courtney, see, I told you.
I know. So, Jojo Siwa is like a child star. She makes content for children, for like little, like girls love her. She wears the really colorful outfits. She has really tight
we're
ponytail.
Explaining Jojo Siwa right now. I just love that we're talking. Okay, no, go ahead.
Is this like Blue's Clues or something?
No. Well, she's
like a person, like a real person.
Okay.
Blue's Clues. You're so old.
Well,
Shane.
the guy on Blue's Clues was real.
Yeah,
not the dog, but the guy.
But
she makes like kids music. Well,
yeah. So she would just dance around in like rainbow skirts and like a big bow on her head. So like she has like a clothing line of colorful clothes and bows and stuff. But she's rebranding herself as a bad girl, and there's kind of like
So she's going through like a Miley Cyrus phase, like
kind of, but not really. Not
so bad.
But she's like not though, because Miley Cyrus actually lost her mind.
Picture? Do we have the ability to pull up a picture of JoJo?
Get some JoJo Siwa before and after.
Steven, we need a picture of JoJo, please. Well, okay, we'll go back to JoJo. Let's talk about shows. Let's talk about shows. Off Track with Courtney. We go back to JoJo.
Okay, Shane, which shows do you vend?
He just said that.
The two Tinleys, and then I'm gonna do the AARPE thingy in Charlotte. That's gonna be my three main ones. I keep wanting to go down to Daytona, but it's like
you've never been
the month
to Florida.
That's like right when school starts, and then I have an extra kid here from California, and like I can only take like weeks of work off so often, So
right
So what about the national?
Plus, I'm from California. I don't really need to go to Florida, but I just need to go to that show.
All right. Here's JoJo Siwa after the rebrand.
Oh, wow.
And
yeah. I like it.
So what he's showing you is actually an SNL skit that was done about it. But there is a pretty viral TikTok sound right now where JoJo Siwa goes, "Dream guest on my podcast." So I thought it would be really fun. Sorry, I choked a little bit. I had to get into character. I thought it would be
a JoJo Siwa impression of it. That's not what I was expecting to happen tonight. I love it, but
I thought it'd be really funny if I painted my face and like did a reel that was like, "Dream guest on my podcast. Let's spice it up." Shane Kelly from Small Town Exotics. But
I gotta check this chick out now. Like she sounds cool to me.
I'll send you the TikTok. Shane.
I think I deleted TikTok.
You had a TikTok?
It's gonna get officially banned.
TikTok deleted Molly, so
that's true. I did get the Chimera TikTok banned for a little bit, but we got it back.
Yes,
we got it back, and that's what matters. But now it is going to be banned, like for sure. So
yeah, but that one's not your fault.
That one's not my fault. That's the government, not me.
Yeah. Let Patrick take it up with the government.
Chimera suing the U.S. government for banning TikTok for our 1,400 followers.
Oh, Charlie's daughter's a big JoJo fan, so what you guys are all doing is insulting Charlie. Come on, people, come on. So back on track with Molly. So you don't vend Nashville? Is that what you're saying?
I have before. There's two different circuits that go through there, though. So there's the Show Me Show. I'll see. Now it's doing balloons. And then there's like an exotic pet something or other that my buddy Moose does. I haven't been to that one, so.
Oh.
Okay. So I know because Bob was talking about they just did a show in Nashville. It was like the Pet Expo up there, and so I thought it was
that's the one.
Yeah. Okay.
There's a lot of shows in Tennessee. Like if you look there, so like Chattanooga, the way it is, like the upside down triangle, Chattanooga, Nashville, Knoxville. You know, there's like a show a month, and they're all 2 hours apart. So there's like always a show somewhere.
How do you feel about shows versus online sales? Because if you're only doing a couple shows a year, do you do most of your sales online?
Yeah. I'm an onliner.
Shane, you do have a request to go to Denver for the next show, the next AARPE, Denver.
God, that's pretty close to California, though. I don't know, man. I made it out of there alive. I don't know if I want to get that close.
We don't want to touch California with a 10-foot pole. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah, pretty much.
Some hard feelings.
I would like to go to Denver, so I just got to plan it out in advance.
Yeah.
I'd probably just go as a spectator, though, because I couldn't see, like, I'm not going to drive my animals all the way there and then shipping animals, and I don't know. I don't know if it makes monetary sense to do all that, so.
We didn't vend the show. We just went to see it. And honestly, it was a really cool show. They had a lot of animals other than snakes. And they had the plants just really spruced it up. It made it really beautiful. And I think a lot of the people who were vending plants were suggesting like reptile enclosure plants. Which, a lot of people do bioactives. There were some cool bioactive enclosure setups ready to go. There were some like really beautiful betta fish. It was a really cool show. Betta?
All right.
Beta fish, Shane.
Yeah, beta.
You're like Patrick saying Vegas.
Vegas.
For anyone who hasn't heard him say it for like the past 2 weeks, he says Las Vegas. Shout out to my boss.
Your boss, Elvis Presley. Or wait, who played him?
Betta fish in Vegas.
Austin Butler. Wow, you answered that quick, Molly.
I love the Elvis movie.
Oh, really? Austin Butler was also in Dune 2. I thought he was the Skarsgård kid.
I thought he did good. I thought his performance-wise,
in Elvis.
In Dune too,
in Dune. It was excellent in Dune too. I thought Shane,
Dune 2's out.
Yes, Shane, go watch.
Where have you been?
You don't even have to watch.
Playing with snakes.
It's so good.
I've been playing with snakes.
Dune. I love Dune
2. Everyone, really good movie. So Austin Butler. So the dad Skarsgård, whatever his first name is, he's the uncle. I'm not going to remember what they're called. Steven's going to throw me a question because he's not liking where this is going. Everybody watch out. Steven's throwing me a question. Oh, my God.
Oh, no. We have to get back on track to snake stuff. Sorry, everyone. We're getting
So Daddy Skarsgård's in the movie. So I thought Austin Butler was a Skarsgård kid. And he's not. He's.
Well, there's 4 or 5 of them, so that's an honest mistake.
All right. What does the man in charge of Partho have to say?
So before I ask this question, Shane, can you please tell your story about what it's like to record a video with my darling husband, Steven?
Oh, it's great. But we have 2 different processes. So Steven's process is he's very thorough, well thought out. He makes an outline, what he's going to do, what like a director or something. And then mine's film video. And that's our 2 styles. But when we work together, it just flows. It's just
yeah. So when they were recording together and they were like, all right, let's record our video. Steven's like, Shane, here's your graph paper and notebook for you to take your notes. And Shane's like, okay, loser. So here is
Nerd.
Steven's, here's Steven's nerdy, well thought out question. Shane, you have to fight Antoine. Do you team up with Courtney, Molly, or Patrick? P.S. Oh, well, that's something else. We'll stick with the Antoine question. I know what the answer should be.
Yeah, I'm gonna take Courtney.
Really?
That's a good answer.
Because Molly's got some roasts.
I was gonna say, I think I could emotionally damage anybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Courtney was mean to the homeless guy in a wheelchair. I mean, that's pretty ruthless.
Courtney does hate the pores. Just take all of one's money, and then Courtney is gonna be the best person to fight him. Just like take his wallet away, and she's like, "Poor, hold on, let me whack it up here."
Guys, I don't hate the pores. So I'm not saying that you should pick Molly, but Molly's kind of mean. So I think she'd do a good job.
I don't know. Anyone that's going to pick on a handicapped homeless person is pretty
okay. Ro is in the chat. She can attest. He stole some lady's wallet. I was just trying to Batman the situation and get the wallet back. Okay.
So you are such a vigilante. Good job, Courtney.
And do you know what Batman is? Rich. Okay, moving on. He also asks.
Good thing Batman's not poor, because that would be an insult.
Yeah, you don't see anybody calling me Robin. Stephen did ask, how have you, he's changing the subject entirely. How have you felt about the way 15 Minutes of Lame has grown? And for those of you who don't know, 15 Minutes of Lame is Chris Eaton's like annual contest of new breeders that he does.
For me, it's really rewarding. I don't even know how to express my feelings on this. Like I love to see it, and I love to still be a part of it, because I was part of the whole first season and everything. So it's like, I know it's Chris's creation and all that, but I consider it like one of my babies too, though, you know? So.
That's awesome.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
I think
I'm getting all misty-eyed.
I think
Try not to cry challenge.
Give it a lot of credit too. Patrick from Chimera. What? So Patrick from Chimera was also a contestant of 15 Minutes Lame. And who was it that beat him into the ground? All right. I knew
you just had to get that in there. Attack my boss one way or another.
Molly, all you need is one egg, and you can do 15 minutes too.
Yeah, just steal one out of the incubator and call it yours.
I was gonna say,
just snag one.
Just snag one real fast.
Snag one, show it to Chris. He'll let you on. Honestly, Chris would probably let you on either way. You're pretty, so
yeah.
I genuinely, not to turn this into a like Chris Eaton show, but we love 15 Minutes of Lame. It did a lot for us. It made us a lot of friends. It's been really cool for us. It kind of got a lot more people looking at our stuff, and we really appreciate it. We had a lot of fun doing it, and we have a lot of fun doing it every year. So if you're a newer breeder and you're interested in 15 Minutes of Lame, do not ask Chris. He won't let you on, but figure out a way to get him to notice you.
And don't ask me. I'm not getting you on either. Just put that out there.
Yeah, super chats will get you on. Any I am very easily bought. It could be 99 cents. I don't care.
But let's go back though. So if it wasn't for 15 Minutes of Lame, I probably wouldn't be friends with the Leviathan crew over there, because that's how we connected. I'm not saying that we wouldn't be friends. I'm just saying that's what connected us.
No, that's what
you
he's
heard
saying.
it here first, folks. Shane says he's only friends with winners.
He's only friends with winners. Courtney hates the poor. Shane hates losers.
The losers.
It works.
So Molly,
it's a great friendship.
Molly, what do you hate? The Uggos?
Patrick, my boss.
Just Patrick.
I want to go back a little bit. Oh, go ahead. No.
I was reading Jen's comment. Go for it.
I was just going to go back to your Patreon and talk about that a little bit more. What all is your Patreon offering? What are you going to do with it?
There is a whole list of stuff. I know I'll forget most of it, but mainly it's about building a community, and I like to give back. So I get asked questions like, how did you achieve this? Or how did you do this and all that? So this is just my way of focusing all of my energy into people that actually care about what they're doing, you know? So, and then there's like perks from the sponsors, and all your money's redeemable in reptiles and, you know, all that stuff too. But for me, it's more about like giving back and helping people succeed. That's my main goal behind it.
That's awesome. That's such a good attitude. Like, and it's like so refreshing to hear too. That's great. That's awesome.
The monetary stuff's just to like get him to hook in, and then
it's just
like,
to make sure that Courtney still talks to him.
Yeah,
so you know,
you gotta put like $1 in Shane's pocket. That way, Courtney will at least look at
Xotics is the next guest on 15 Minutes of Lame, and Atomic, please. This is like,
no.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Let's change it up a little bit, everybody. All super chats go to not you, Shane. Me. So
Molly, give them all to Courtney, folks.
Xotics. We'll give you a shout out. Send us a DM and we'll grease Chris's palms with that $1.
His name's Kenny. He was actually kind of my neighbor-ish in California.
Oh, really? I didn't recognize the name. It was a new one, and earlier I wasn't sure if he was trolling us or not when he asked about Sunset or Molly's.
He's a cool guy. He was from the same desert region of California that I was in before I left. So
California has a desert? I thought it was all Hollywood.
Yeah, that's what everyone thinks. It's all beach and palm trees and stuff, but no, there's like mountains and snow there too. And
I didn't know it was a big enough state to have all that.
So small, so tiny.
It's not as big as Illinois, right? Indiana? No? Okay. Anyway. Those were bad jokes. You guys can tell me those are bad jokes.
No, I was just... Yeah, go ahead. We're off.
Illinois is a much bigger state than I always realize. I always think like Tennessee and North Carolina, because they're fairly big states. I always think they're bigger than Illinois. And then we go to Illinois or I look at a map and I'm reminded that it's just a massive state.
Or look at a map.
Yeah, but once you like more often than you'd think.
But like for me, when I drive from Knoxville and like I start getting out of Kentucky, it's just a flat nothing all the way to Tinley. I'm like, it gives me anxiety. There's no mountains. Yeah.
We got some
home state. So really quick, you said that you got if somebody signs up for your Patreon, they get perks from the sponsors. Can you talk about that a little bit? Because that's not something that we do in our Patreon, and I think it's super cool and super interesting. So how are you balancing that? How are you doing that?
All right. So for the shed testing through Charlie, there's different levels of coupons, but you get money off of your shed test, one per month. So it's like every month they get a coupon
really?
code.
Wow.
Yeah. And then same with Redline shipping, certain tiers get $5 off a month every month, so it's a rolling coupon too.
Nice.
And then Husbandry Pro, you get a 90-day free trial, and then like support one of their personnel's in the Discord and stuff too. And then RAL, the people where you test NITO and crypto and all that stuff, it's just 10% off anything you do there. So
as a member of your Patreon, I do think we will be taking advantage of that. I think that's really cool.
It's a lot of perks.
Well, so you're a member of a couple Patreons.
And then everything that anything you pay to Patreon is also redeemable in Reptiles.
Oh, absolutely.
So if you're ever going to buy a reptile for me, you might as well do the Patreon, and then we can connect, and then you get all these other cool perks and get to network and do all the cool things.
What are some things you like about Patreons that you're a member of? Did you take that into consideration when you were starting yours?
Yes. So I like the community aspect of it. Like once it's been established for a while, then like you build a group. It's kind of like the 15 Minutes Lame group. Like you like have a kinship with people, So I'm still a part of Royal Canadian Reptiles Patreon because of that. It's like the kinship of that group, and that's what I'm looking to create as a group, a community, a family.
I think that's really cool. Yeah. That's awesome. What advice would you give somebody, maybe specifically somebody newer who is considering like joining at least one, maybe a couple Patreons? Like what would you suggest they look for? What aspects do you think are important or exciting about joining Patreons?
It depends on what their goals are, honestly, and what they're looking for. But I would suggest trying a few out at a lower level and just getting a feel for it, because they're all different. Because Courtney has a Patreon, I have a Patreon, there's other people that have Patreons, and like we set it up the way we want it. So everyone's is going to be different. That's my advice. Try a few out.
Yeah.
Just like when you start, just like when you're a young man and you start getting into girls, you got to like, I like.
Yeah, like what?
Gotta,
Do what? No, explain.
Float around for a little bit and find out what I really like here,
I think Molly would make an excellent Patreon where she just is going to start giving you burns that you can use throughout the day.
It's so, I don't know how I do it. I just come up with the most creative things I can possibly think of. And it hurts even more. The more creative you are, the worse it hurts. Just ask Patrick every single day.
Poor Patrick. Oh, did you see in the chat how Patrick was talking about giving Molly a birthday bonus? That's exciting.
Courtney,
that was really cool of you, Patrick.
Courtney, you are my biggest supporter, and I love you so much. Molly gets a birthday. Thanks, Patrick. I know you're watching. I know that's you right now.
$10,000.
Wow, Patrick's got money. No wonder I like him. All right.
No wonder Patrick and Courtney get along so well. He's not poor. False. Patrick, can you log out of the late to the mic account?
Yeah, I don't think the late to the mic is Patrick. I don't think that's him.
No, that's probably Chase. He's in here twice because he wants to support.
He wants to
support. Because Patrick is definitely giving.
I agree with Adam's comment right there. And that's why I refer back to like it depends on what somebody's looking for in a Patreon, what Patreon's going to be right for them.
Right.
Now, Patreon did just release the ability to do a 7-day free trial of like specific tiers. I know Bob and Josh, they recently did where you can join a 7-day free trial. I was talking to them yesterday to see what the turnover for that was, like how many people signed up for that and how many people that signed up for it actually like were retained and stayed in the group. And he said about half of the people who end up signing up, they do end up staying in. So I think that's really cool. And no, Charlie, I don't hate poor people. It's just a joke. That's not at all true. I love poor people. Patrick, get out of here. It's bad enough you're creeping in the background.
How dare you?
That's Patrick. Not the real Patrick.
Right, it's not.
That's not the real Patrick. The real Patrick would say, Molly, you're doing such a good job. Actually,
I heard him say that.
He did recognize that because I keep joking with him about me having a birthday week because he says he barely gives people an actual birthday day.
Steven takes a birthday year, so.
And and today he did admit finally that it was my birthday week. He did say that, so you got to give it to Patrick for that today, at least.
Steven says happy birthday week. He also says, he says that's him pretending to be Patrick. So there's no Patrick here.
Patrick is in Vegas.
Yeah, Patrick's in Vegas. He's on a Boeing flight. Those don't have Wi-Fi.
This is a good question. How much is your Patreon?
Or doors? Is that what you said?
Mine
or wheels.
I have $5, $25, $50, and $100 level.
Nice.
Where do you see the most people signing up?
Right now, the 100 is the 100 and the 25 are the two, but it's only been going 6 days.
Yeah, so. I mean, no. I mean, that's awesome. I think
I don't have like a big sample size here yet, but yeah, I'm like super new.
I think it was pretty interesting. Yeah, thank God it's not the engine. They got an engine, just no wheels. When we did ours, our highest tier filled up the quickest. I mean, it's the only one with a hard limit. And at first it was 5. So we had somebody who immediately signed up for two $50 tiers so that they would be in the $100 tier. So we opened it up to 6 and put better details in our. No, I'm just kidding. They did that by mistake. So we opened it up to 6 and now we've opened it up to 10 at the highest level. And those are all full. They sold out within a minute, which was a big ego boost for us. We have not slept since
this is why Courtney hates the poors, folks.
Because they don't give me all their money. Stop, guys. Steven. I don't know how to take that off. So I'd say that, and then our $50 tier, those are the highest, and then we have 25, and then we have a $5 tier, which is kind of more like it's access, and it's kind of meant to be, like you said, like you usually say, like a tip jar. It gets you access to the Patreon, it gets you access to the chat, to the podcast, some extra content that we post. But we have the least amount of people in that tier, and I think that's really interesting because I expected that to be the one that filled up the quickest.
Yeah.
Well,
that's what I thought too. I just thought that, no, I agree. For all different a whole bunch of reasons, but I thought, the 5 will just be like, might as well just do it. Yeah. But
I think it's a great entry point. Like you said, I think it's a great entry point just for people to see what's up for a second. But I think once they are like, yeah, this is the one I want to be in, like it's worth investing for people for sure to do that.
I know different creators have like different starting levels. Some are 5, some are 10, but I mean, that's what I'd recommend is people sign up in those and then go from there.
Yeah. I want to do the $25 tier free trial for us because I want people to see like the podcast, the behind the scenes stuff that we put up there, maybe even join our monthly Zoom call for a month. I just haven't gotten around to it. I feel like it's not a good time for us because we're just really busy and we want to kind of focus on the members that we have right now. And then our $50 tier, like when you jump up to that, the big perk there is that we do like a breeder meetup. So there's not really a point in doing the $50 tier as a trial. So I think we might open up and give that 7-day free trial a go. So I'll keep everybody updated on how that goes.
I did it. I did it with my $5 tier, 7-day free trial.
Oh yeah,
and one signed up and then started paying, like converted.
Oh cool,
already.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So Molly, so Chase, what do you think about Molly's Patreon idea where she just kind of writes up roasts for you? For how much are you charging for that, Molly?
At least 100 minimum.
$100.
This is valuable info, people.
Wow.
200, like 200. If you give me the specific person, I'll do the roast for you.
Yeah, Molly will show up at their house for 300.
Maybe I should just start doing cameos. People just send me.
I was just gonna say, do cameo.
Like
I'll talk to you after the show. I got some people. I've got some enemies. Yeah. I mean, it's does anybody here play D&D? It's Vicious Mockery. That's what Molly does, and it slaughters.
D&D.
I play D&D.
Listen, did you see what Adam said? He is just being mean in the comments today.
Yeah. I agree. There's people saying nerd.
I made him bread. Anyway, I made the bread for my mom, and then I forgot to give it to her, so I gave it to Adam instead. Who called me a nerd? Is that the D&D thing?
I think your husband did too.
No. So for those of you who don't know, because we are doing this with Chimera, we are sharing a StreamYard account, mostly because we're cheap and we're not paying for our own subscription. So we are sharing Chimera's StreamYard, and Patrick does in fact have access to his own StreamYard that he pays for. So
what? That's crazy. Why would he have access to that?
If he were not on a plane right now, it would be quite possible that he would be watching us in the background of the show, creeping and leaving mean comments when he has the chance. But he's on a plane to Vegas at the moment, so we don't have to worry about that. We don't have to worry about Big Brother right now.
I need like a compilation reel of all the like roasts I've said about Patrick, because I just think like if someone just takes, I don't want to do it. I'm not taking the time to do it. But if someone did take the time to do that, that would be incredible. Just like a good like reel.
One thing about
Steven would do it.
I was actually wondering if you could get AI to pull clips if like you ran somebody's, but I don't know enough about AI. I was going to hire Patrick.
That's a Patrick question. Patrick loves AI.
Steven, bring him in. But Patrick can't. Molly doesn't have background view, so she didn't know he's actually been creeping this entire episode. So if you didn't know, we have been doing fun reels for all of our guests, all 2 of our guests, before an episode. And I was like, what if I ran all of Shane's YouTube videos through AI and I got him like singing a JoJo Siwa song or something?
Stop it with JoJo. We've got to quit with JoJo. You know that old YouTube video that was like, leave Brandy alone? Someone's got to do that for JoJo.
I'm really intrigued about JoJo now. There's something about like Good Girls Gone Bad that like intrigues me. You know?
Dream guest on my podcast. The thing about JoJo Siwa is like her Good Girl Gone Bad is very like, guys, I said the B word. Like it's not like the derailment that a lot of child stars go through.
It's not like
which
Miley
is good
and
for
Britney or none of that.
No,
it's not like Miley and Britney.
Hers is like JoJo is doing it like if Disney was like, here's the
cast
bad
the
guy.
bad girl.
Yes,
Yeah.
That's like what JoJo is doing. Like she's making it like a childish, like it's the bad guy.
Yeah, but that's just like the gateway drug to like pretty soon she'll be smoking drugs and turning tricks on the strip in Vegas.
It's kind of
which you gotta think is so fun. Right now she does drive around. I just know a little bit of JoJo info. Right,
you know a lot more than you let on. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Does drive around in LA in like both of her. Well, I'm sure she has more, but like at least 2 of her cars are wrapped with her face all over it. Like it is like, and so now she's slowly changing her face. It's so funny, from like ponytail JoJo to bad girl JoJo. So she's slowly changing each face on her like Tesla wrapped with herself.
She went through an in-between phase where she was like a suave, tough girl, and then she jumped right into bad girl. But it's kind of hard. You got to be there. You got to be you got to be there.
90% more JoJo talk than I thought that was going to happen this evening. Shane, how do you feel about all this JoJo talk?
I'm intrigued. I'm going to go look her up when we're done. Yeah.
Like
I said, I like the Good Girls Gone Bad, even if it's like a Diet Coke bad. You know, it's still.
You're gonna be I think you're
gonna be wildly disappointed.
You're gonna be very disappointed.
Right.
Yeah, but you know, like if we're gonna go talk nerd stuff, you know, like she's like in her gray Jedi phase, you know, before she goes full Sith or something. You know, it might be cool.
Maybe maybe she'll just like, I don't know, like commit murder. I don't know. Maybe she'll just do something crazy. We don't know.
Well, you told me right now that she drives a Tesla, and all the people that drive Teslas are like loopy.
I agree. Actually, yeah, I'll say that about Cybertrucks.
Oh yeah, they're even worse.
Okay, I have seen the videos. Okay, this is so off the rails, but off track with Courtney, the Cybertrucks. So they had some guy. The big thing about the Cybertrucks right now is that the trunks were shutting, and like if you stuck a carrot, it would snap the carrot.
That video of the guy.
So this guy who. So first he tries it with like his arm and it starts to close and he pulls it back, and then he tries it with his hand and it closes and it leaves like a dent on his hand, and so he pulls it, like it stops, he does his finger and it about cuts his finger off. And the people at Tesla are like, yeah, so the software that we use, it like learns, and when you repeatedly close the trunk on something, you are essentially telling Tesla that it is okay to close because you are a person who has closed this trunk with something in the way 3 times. And the truck is essentially saying, like, please close this trunk despite the thing being in the way. We're going to cut your finger off. And so
that doesn't even make any sense.
Look, I opened a trunk over the weekend that wasn't like a button. Shane and I have the same car, so he knows that all you gotta do is you push a button and the trunk opens. And I had to manually open a trunk this weekend.
Soccer moms.
And I pushed the button on the trunk and it doesn't open. I was like, oh, I thought I unlocked the car. So I do it again and I was like, did I not hit the button right? And I do it a 3rd time. I'm like, that's so weird. And I go and I open the car door and it opens. I'm like, what is wrong with her trunk? And then I was like, oh, I have to manually open this trunk and I'm a bougie idiot.
I was gonna, no, it's okay. Just keep saying you don't hate the pores and explain that. No, that's okay.
When I travel for work, I always get like a minivan so I could like push the button and the doors open. And when I get home, I'm always like, I have to open the doors by myself.
True soccer mom. You're gonna do great when Ellie's bigger and playing soccer.
So everybody in the chat, just so you know what a great guy Shane is. If you were planning on buying any snakes from great guys lately, Shane came down, and the day before Shane came down, I had my car detailed for the first time because I have 2 children who are disgusting, and I wanted the inside of my car to stay nice.
Your children or Steven?
All 3 of my children, including Steven, are disgusting. So I took it to get detailed, interior, like clean it up, make it look really nice. And I picked the car up, and they like shampooed out the mats and stuff. So I get home to like lay the mats out so they can dry, and I'm missing the driver's side mat. And I call them, they don't have it. They must have sent it home. And you know what I mean? And it just kind of like ruined my day. I was like, this sucks. And I looked to see how much it costs to buy a new mat for that specific car. And if you get it from Chevrolet, it's like $100 for mats. And that's how much it costs to get them to clean my car. And I was just in such a bad mood. Shane comes down. He drives the same exact car, sportier, nicer than me. He's got money. And I'm like, dang, watch out. I might steal your car mat. And he goes, well, I just bought new car mats. I've still got my old ones. And this kind man shipped me his old car mats. So I got my car mats back. And it really, I am the poor.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Shane.
What I didn't tell you was I almost threw those things away before I went down there because I was like, I had another buddy.
Dig them out of the trash, buddy. I wanted them.
Yeah, I had another buddy, and then he's like, oh, I just went with WeatherTech. And I was like, I just got WeatherTech. And then I was like, what am I going to do with these things? They're just going to sit in the garage for like 10 years, and then I'm going to throw them away. But then I was like, I'll just wait a little bit. And then, bam, the opportunity arose. So I was like, cool.
Yeah. So if for all of you hoarders who think, should I throw this away or will it come in handy later? Keep it. Give it to Courtney.
Give all your unwanted.
Give me all your trash.
Hear that, everyone? Start shipping.
So who wrote that, Steven? Did you call me the poor or did Patrick? I don't know who to give credit to. It was Patrick. Gina, I'm sorry. You give credit to Patrick. This time.
Well, that's what I would say if I was Steven.
Watch your language, sir. So Shane, why do you breed such mean snakes?
So they can defend themselves.
Mm-hmm. Against Jennifer.
Oh, see, look, bam. Well, all right. So I don't know. Oh, the mom was a feisty one. Yeah. So
well,
yeah.
all of our bells, a lot of our bells tend to be a little snappier, and I think pet owners really like bells. So they always want us at a show. The bells are always the ones little kids want to like hold, and I'm like, oh. Yeah. Let me give you this giant banana.
See, there's another guy saying, Jerome right there, saying that my snakes are sweethearts. So just saying.
So maybe it's Jennifer. I wouldn't be surprised.
I don't think the snake likes Illinois. That's what it is.
So Jerome was at Denver with us. And I didn't get to spend any time with him, but Steven did. For anyone who doesn't know, Steven went to hang out with Troy, Andrew from Redwood, Jerome, and everybody else, I guess, who was there that night. I wasn't there, so I'm not giving anybody any shout outs. They didn't like me enough to invite me. But they recorded a podcast, and during the podcast, I think Troy asked, was it Jerome that he asked, like, hey, why haven't you been on late to the mic? Am I thinking the right person? Yeah. Why haven't you been on late to the mic? And Jerome's like, yeah, I got booted. Y'all booted me. And you never asked me back on. Troy's like, oh, booted you for who? And he's like, a couple. And Troy's like, a couple? We've only had a couple like, we've only had like 1 or 2 couples on. Who are you talking about? And Jerome's like, and points at Steven. So we stole his spot
You
on late for
guys
the mic.
are the worst.
And they never let him back on. But he's here supporting us tonight. So thank you, Jerome. We're big fans.
Jerome, just tell
Jerome is a California guy that moved to Tennessee as well.
I didn't know he was in Tennessee. I thought he was still in California.
Is there a California to Tennessee pipeline? Like, what's happening?
Yeah. Like, if you think of all the bad things that's wrong with California, Tennessee is not those things. So you just kind of gravitate here.
I was about to say, I think the California to anywhere pipeline is pretty big right now.
Big time.
I'm pretty sure they
mountains and stuff too, like similar to California. So like, I felt at home here right away.
Don't tell people that they're similar mountains because they will freak out. There was somebody.
Well, yeah.
No, well, so
they're not California big, but I mean, there's something on the horizon.
There was somebody from the West Coast. Maybe it was you. I don't know. I'm gonna roast you. Was it you who was like, "Oh, these are real mountains"?
Yeah, they're hills, but
yeah. And I was like, no, I don't think it was you because I was like, well, there are older mountains here, so they're like weathered down. And they were like, no, it's because California has tectonic plates and we don't have.
That was me,
here. Jane. We have tectonic plates too.
No,
they're just not as active.
That's what I'm saying because that's why there's all the earthquakes. It's making the mountains.
Welcome to Geo Talk, where we talk.
Yeah, can we get a geologist in here? Like, come on.
My sister's dating a guy who is a geologist.
So that makes you an expert because your sister's having sex with a geologist?
Whoa. She's a child. Okay, watch your language. My 15-year-old sister we're talking about. I think she's Molly's age, but still way too young for that kind of language. Well, Molly, are you born in 2000?
Yeah.
So 15, like I said. Child.
That's 24.
Child. My mom's
not 24
yet.
yet.
I'm about to kick you out. I had to make choice. Yeah. We don't talk about my sister like that. She's a baby. The Ozark Mountains are also in Arkansas. I've seen them. I've been to them. They're not that great.
You are the best at geography. This is amazing. What other mountains do you know where they are?
You learned that from Netflix. You learned that.
I was just in Arkansas.
Well, I can tell you
in Arkansas.
The Keys are in Florida, and I learned that from Netflix.
Okay, here's one more story. Now that we're completely off track, and this is completely
Patrick,
a mess.
Quit.
Steven was somewhere in Florida where there's a time difference. Like, I don't know. He's far enough. Where?
I was in the Panhandle.
He was in the Panhandle, and there's like they're on Central Time. And I was telling somebody from Florida that, oh, my husband's in Florida right now. I didn't know that any of Florida was in Central Time, and they were like, it's not. And I was like, no, it is because he's there and he's an hour behind us. And she's like, you're an idiot. That's not true. And I'm like, I swear to God, either that or he's lying to me and he's somewhere else, but he's an hour behind us right now. And she swore up and down that there was nowhere in Florida that was like in a different time zone. And like maybe months later, I introduced her to Steven and she's like, Courtney was trying to tell me that you were in Florida and that you were in a different time zone. And he's like, yeah, I was in the Panhandle. And she's like, oh, you didn't say there. That's in a different time zone. Anyway, I'm still salty about that one.
Now, Steven was actually out buying camera equipment and editing videos behind your back.
Yep.
It was like all
That's what I heard.
You know, everybody's kind of teasing us for being completely off track. And by everyone, I mean Patrick. But we've got more viewers now. So it gets numbers.
Patrick.
It gets numbers. Anyone else know anything about mountains? Bring it here. Bring it on. 4 people just left. Oh, no.
Not a geography podcast. Okay. Nope.
I know I live by the Smoky Mountains, but they're actually hills. They're not like mountains like that I'm used to.
But
they call them mountains, so I'll run with it. Yeah, whatever.
They're very old mountains. They're one of the oldest mountain ranges in the world, actually, and that's why they are so hilly and small.
I'm not buying it. What do you know about the history of the Earth?
I read it in a book one time.
We're not talking D&D history.
Are people all of a sudden joining on different accounts? People just keep. Steven, how many accounts are you logged into right now?
11.
And Steven,
that's right, Jerome.
That's how many viewers Chimera has.
I'm all on Chimera's channel.
All right, Chris, who's in New York and knows nothing about mountains at all. Actually, I don't know. Are there mountains in New York? I have no idea.
Yeah, upstate New York has badass mountains.
Yeah, but he's in
almost Canada.
New York City. He's in New York City and he's never left.
But Chris lived in California. He knows about mountains. Between upstate New York and California, he knows about mountains. And he lived in Colorado.
He came out to Tennessee and he made a lot of fun of the mountains in Tennessee. Bite me. I lived in Colorado.
See?
So
he lived there and he loved it.
So a lot of mountains do get taller, but unfortunately the Appalachian Mountains are getting smaller.
Why is that?
Because there's so much less. The tectonic plate activity does not equal the amount of weathering happening by the weather.
There is a lot more weather here. It rained like 4 different times today. California, that would have taken 10 years to get that much rain.
Yeah. And then Nestle would have sucked it all up. Loyal. Oh, look at Krisha being she's what am I trying to say? In solidarity.
No. Chris, her sister's dating a geologist, so she knows what she's talking about.
That's true.
My sister's dating what is he? Is he a geologist? I don't know. I keep talking to Steven. Guys,
you don't even actually know.
He does rocks. He knows about rocks. That's it.
He knows rocks.
Is rocks.
He might be a drug dealer. I mean,
we don't know what kind of rocks yet.
He might be in the chat. Draven, are you here? Are you supporting your future sister-in-law? California's weather, smogging wildfire.
Yeah, that's true. True. It's all true.
Pounds one geologist and suddenly know everything.
That's what I'm saying.
Pounds? Is that you?
So aggressive.
Kick Patrick out.
That is such a Patrick thing to say. That's definitely Patrick.
See, me and Patrick think alike there. That's the first thing I thought of. And then you scolded me. Oh, no, and I'm like, what am I talking about? A 9-year-old kid here? And you're like, oh, she's born in 2000. I'm like, fuck.
Chris, I can name one geologist, and his name is Draven, and he's dating my sister.
And he's dating my sister.
He might be the soils guy for the construction site or something.
Cameron is younger than Molly. They were both born in 2020. 2000.
No, that's okay. You got it.
But Cameron has an October birthday, so.
Oh, yeah, she's younger.
She's 23. So that's my one geologist. That's all I got. And my mom bought a rock when I was a kid. She bought this like green rock from like a flea market or something. And she's always had this green rock on her mantle. And when Cameron started dating Draven, she was like, "Could you tell me what kind of rock this is? This really beautiful rock?" And he's like, I guess it could be obsidian, but I think it's just glass. I think it's just slag glass that got left over from a bottle making factory. I think they just had, because it's green, right? He's like, Draven's out in the field tonight. Hear that, guys? My mom's here to defend me. Draven's out in the field looking at rocks.
Courtney, we're done. This podcast is officially done. Shane, thank you so much for being here. I cannot express to you how much I appreciate the geology conversation we just had.
Hey, I just want to let you know I'm always available to talk about things I don't know anything about. Always.
Yeah. I love that.
Yeah. All right, the next tier on the podcast is going to be my sister's boyfriend identifying your rocks. So for $2 a month,
we're going to have.
Yeah, it's just glass. For $2 a month, Draven will identify your rocks. None of that money will go to Draven. It will all go to Courtney.
It'll all go to Courtney because she can't be poor.
All right,
All right, guys. I think that this has been a really fun show, but we usually try to keep it at about an hour. And I think Shane just texted me, "Can we wrap this up? I've got better things to do." So,
I got a whole rabbit hole. I need to go study geology now, apparently, before I go on Reptile podcast.
So for those of you who don't know who JoJo Siwa is, go check her out on YouTube and Instagram, as well as TikTok. Shane, would you like to plug any of your stuff, or did that about cover it?
You can find me on the Blues Clues Network. And,
unfortunately, Chase, you spelled Xotics wrong. Shane is hip, and he leaves off the E.
No, it's because the site tried to ban me and say I was like, it was a bad word. So then I was like, well, I have to change my name everywhere. And
that's weird.
And then
I feel like the X makes it more suggestive.
Because I think I'm Generation X, though, right? I can play into that, right? Am I Generation X?
Yeah, you could.
Yes, you are. Get out of here, Chris. Yeah. I need to start banning people. Make me a moderator. Anyway, Shane, where can people find you? Where can they get a hold of you? Where can they follow you?
Instagram, YouTube, Patreon, Facebook under Shane Kelly, Facebook under Small Town Xotics, but I never answer the mailbox on Facebook for Small Town Xotics because it doesn't tell me there's a message there. So it's useless.
So don't go there, folks.
Yeah. Instagram is the best place. And Patreon. YouTube. Yeah, Patreon.
Awesome. And Patreon, yeah. That's exciting.
That's all the places.
That girl. That's awesome.
Thank you.
All right, guys. And Molly, where can everybody find you?
I was going to say, you can find me running Chimera. All our good stuff. Chimera Reptiles everywhere. YouTube, Instagram. Probably not. You can check us out on Facebook, but I try not to. I don't deal with the Facebook. So yeah, YouTube, Instagram, all that good stuff. Please follow it. Thank you. Yes, and Molly, TikTok, of course.
Are you going to be on any other shows this week, Molly?
Oh goodness. Well, I might as well plug it. Yes, I will be on Late to the Mic with Chase. I will. Chase is going to be coming down, so we are going to do a little. The Pattons will be there on Late to the Mic tomorrow.
Heck yeah.
Are you guys bringing Jerome on since he got booted from the other one?
No, they had to boot him to bring Molly on.
Yeah, with sore subject. All
right. One last question, Shane. How much money is in your bank account?
Which one?
Good answer. The offshore account. I just need to know what I'm working with here. Before I, continue to plug your stuff. We are Leviathan Snakes on Instagram. Don't follow us on TikTok. It's not worth it. Patreon and email, I guess. And YouTube. Here. What?
Yeah.
And YouTube.
I don't. Steven does the outros, guys, not me. We are not on MySpace or Vine, but you could probably find me on Duolingo. You can friend me. I have a 29-day streak at the moment. So,
ladies and gentlemen, this has been a great episode. Thanks for hanging out with us.
All right. Everybody post your Pokemon Go friend codes in the chat. Make sure to like the video and follow Chimera Reptiles, Small Town Xotics, and Leviathan Snakes. And we will catch you in 2 weeks for another episode of Partho.
2 weeks. In 2 weeks.